Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going back to one of my favorite stitches, the moss stitch, also known as the linen stitch. It has a lovely texture and finished items have a superb drape. This isn't really a tutorial, more of a follow along and let's do this together type of video as I remind myself how to work the stitch again. I've included my mistakes because they are part of the learning process and I think it's important to show that. I've made a sample here in navy blue. The stitch definition doesn't stand out as much in the darker color, but it creates an incredibly neat and elegant fabric. Other sample was a little more ambitious and I decided to change color every row. This leaves a lot of loose ends that would need to be sewn in or secured and trimmed off later. On the plus side, the color changes make it much easier to spot mistakes, mainly incorrect stitch placement. Moss stitch starts with an even number of chains. You can make your foundation chain as wide as you want your swatch to be or according to your pattern requirements. I'm going to insert my hook into the fourth back bump of the chain from the hook to make my single crochet, which is in US terms. If you prefer to work into the V of the chain, that's fine too. I personally find working into the back bump creates a much neater edge. To make a single crochet, you pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops on the hook. Then you chain one. Skip the next back bump of the chain and make another single crochet into the following back bump, followed by another chain one. And that is the 2-stitch repeat for the rest of the row. Single crochet, chain one, skip one, single crochet, chain one, skip one. I'll see you again at the end of this row where we can see how to end the row and then turn and do the next row. When you get near the end of the row or the chain, you should have 2 chains left. You're going to skip one, and then in that final chain at the end of the row, you're going to make a single crochet, your last single crochet. If you want to continue into the next row in the same color, you're going to finish the single crochet, chain 2 and turn your work. If you want to change color, you're going to insert your hook into that last chain, pull up a loop, then yarn over with your new color and pull through both loops on the hook to complete that last single crochet of the row, but it will then start with your new color as the loop on your hook. After that, you will chain 2 and turn your work. This is where it starts to get tricky and finicky with those loose ends and having to keep things tight. For the second row, we are going to work a single crochet into every chain space. You can see them there from the row below, and you're going to skip over the single crochet stitches. The first chain space can be a little hidden, so keep your eye out for it. To make a single crochet, it's the usual: insert your hook into the chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops on the hook, then chain 1. Work your next single crochet into the following chain space. Again, you're skipping over the single crochet stitch from the row below. Don't forget to chain 1. That is how I made my mistakes. And you repeat that pattern all the way to the end of the row. Right, we've reached the end of the row. You can see now how the stitch structure of the moss stitch is starting to take place. I have decided to change colors again at the end of the row, which is why I'm undoing that first single crochet, and I'm going to yarn over with my new color, and that will be the loop that I will pull up through to complete that single crochet, and then I will chain 2. Once again, you can see here how it really is tricky to keep things taut so that you get the correct tension and don't lose threads or lose the bits of yarn. So we're just going to repeat that again, where we make a single crochet into the first chain space and then chain 1, and then skip the single crochet below in the row below, and then single crochet into the next chain space and chain 1, and then I will see you again at the end of the row. I'm going to change color again and go into do a row of pink, and just keep repeating my single crochet, chain 1, skip the single crochet below, and keep going. So this is how the swatch is turning out so far. Although I've made a few stitch placement mistakes, it's not the neatest sample. I've also tried a swatch in navy blue, and that one turned out much tidier. Here's a comparison of the two pieces. Even with a few mistakes along the way, I still love the texture and drape that this stitch creates. Thank you for crocheting along with me, and I hope this has inspired you to pick up your hook and give it a try too.